This week on Beyond the Headlines, a new government insurance plan raises questions.
Insurance has gone up in the middle of a downturn in the economy. What I'm really concerned about is the people, those pensioners. I'm really concerned about those pensioners.
There has been much talk circulating around the decision made by government to enter into a contractual agreement with Bupa Insurance Company to provide group health insurance plans for government employees and government retirees. According to a Human Resources circular dated March 17, 2011, Cabinet made a decision on January 27 to award the contract to provide comprehensive health insurance coverage for all employees, dependent groups, and retirees of the government of the Virgin Islands to Hyperion Risk Solutions Limited for Bupa Insurance Company. The circular further indicated that this coverage would commence on April 1, 2011. In the circular, the coverage rates for all employees, retirees, and dependent groups was charted, showing the monthly increase that each group would incur from the new insurance plan, as opposed to what was being paid under the previous insurance providers, Atlantic Southern. The table revealed that under Bupa Insurance, employees were seeing a monthly increase of $22.50. Employees and children, an increase of $56.21. Employees and spouses, an increase of $87.21, and persons insuring themselves and their family were seeing an increase in what they paid by $149.98. Retirees, on the other hand, were experiencing a monthly increase of $226.44. Retirees and their children saw a monthly increase of $471.28, while retirees and their spouses saw an increase of $389.28. Retirees and their families would now be paying a monthly rate of $1,142, a monthly increase of $724.52, and according to some pensioners, the monthly rate alone cost the total of what they receive from government each month. According to Human Resources, the employee rates are subsidized by government at 50%, while retiree rates are still being negotiated. The circular further stated that it is important to note that the rates presented for each proposal received was significantly higher than present rates with Atlantic Southern Insurance, given the size of the insured group and government's claims experience. During a recent episode of the radio program, A Look at the Community, one caller expressed her concern that there was no information given to government retirees about the change to Bupa.
Well, I suppose that is the responsibility of the Human Resource Department to let us know this. And like I said, information is not forthcoming. I mean,
but why?
It's so scanty. Well, it seems as if some secret, and that's all I can say.
It is a secret because up to now, retirees have not received any information.
Well, they'll be the last one to get that, because this is what I've been running around trying to find out. If any of them that I know had it, and they called us saying they haven't seen or heard about it. They know that something is coming, but they haven't had any letters. And I think only a few of the civil servants got their letters. So something is wrong somewhere along the line.
Then, on Monday's episode of VIP radio program Let's Talk, Premier and Minister for Finance Honorable Ralph T. O'Neill spoke to several questions about the process that led to government deciding to sign with Bupa. According to the Premier, there was an open tender for the government insurance group plan, and Bupa appeared to government to be offering the people of the BVI the most advantages.
It was open tender, and after it was considered by the tender board and the various people concerned, recommendations were made, and the Bupa appeared to be the one with the best advantage, best benefits to the people, to the employees of the government. In the case of this Bupa, I must say I use the term more generous than the other companies. I think there were 2 or 3 other companies that bid for the job. And this is where we're getting better advantages and benefits for the people who are the 3,500 employees of the government.
Since then, the Human Resource Department has embarked on a series of public meetings, the first of which was on Tuesday, March 29th at the Central Administration Complex's Breezeway, during which time government employees and retirees were given the opportunity to hear from the new insurance company, Bupa, about what they believe the benefits to the new insurance scheme are. There was clear unrest among the crowd on Tuesday, and the only time the audience seemed to warm up to Bupa Insurance came during the company's presentation when Rene Martinez, manager for Bupa office in Florida, began to speak about Bupa's inpatient benefits. Some of the benefits include 100% coverage for diagnostic procedures such as MRIs, CT scans, and X-rays.
I'm now going to go ahead and get into the inpatient benefits and limitations. There we go. Your hospital room and board, both private and semi-private rooms, will be covered at 100%. Intensive care unit will also be covered at 100%. Any surgery and anesthesia fees will be covered at 100%. Diagnostic procedures, pathology, X-rays, MRIs, PET scans, ultrasound and endoscopies will also be covered at 100%. Drugs prescribed while inpatient, 100% covered. Any cancer treatment, chemotherapy, radiation therapy will also be covered at 100% under your policy. Any special treatments that you may have, whether it be prostheses, implants, appliances, orthotic devices implanted during surgery, as I mentioned, radiation therapy, chemo, highly specialized drugs will also be covered 100% under the inpatient benefits.
Martinez then went on to share some of the outpatient benefits, which include 100% coverage for physician and specialist visits and total coverage for chemotherapy and radiotherapy for Bupa cancer patients.
Your physicians and specialist visits will be covered at 100%. The next benefit there, I'm not going to touch on because currently, as regards to the outpatient prescribed drugs, because currently we're still negotiating that benefit with the government. Once that's obviously settled, then that will be shared with you. Moving over to the cancer treatment, the chemotherapy and radiation therapy will be covered at 100%. Any physical therapy, rehabilitation services, you have a maximum of 30 sessions per year and must be pre-approved through us, will be covered at 100%. Any diagnostic procedures, pathologies, X-rays, MRIs, PET scans, ultrasounds, again, outpatient covered at 100%. And dialysis also will be covered at 100% covered. Your home health care, private nurse, again, maximum of 30 days per year, must be pre-approved through us, you'll have 100% cover there. Any special treatments, prostheses, implants, appliances, orthotic devices, radiation therapy, chemotherapy, and highly specialized drugs are also covered at 100%. Moving over to other benefits and limitations, air ambulance, which I know is a very popular topic here on the islands. You'll have a lifetime maximum of $25,000. Okay, that also must be pre-approved. In the event that someone needs to be evacuated, you'll phone our line. You'll talk to. The provider will contact us and coordinate the transportation of the patient to the hospital of need, depending on what the condition is. Ground ambulance will be covered at 100%. Pregnancy, maternity, birth per pregnancy, including normal maternity, complicated cesarean delivery, and all pre- and postnatal treatment. You'll have a $5,000 cover there. Provisional coverage for the newborn. You'll have a cover for the newborn up to 90 days. That newborn will have $15,000 in coverage.
However, despite the news, which was well received by the audience, there were many questions still being asked at the meeting, particularly by pensioners who have stated that because of what they say is a drastic increase in monthly rates in the new insurance scheme, they are left with almost nothing after government takes out insurance coverage from their checks.
Insurance has gone up in the middle of a downturn in the economy. What I'm really concerned about is the people, those pensioners. I'm really concerned about those pensioners. Because when you look at some of the people who retired years ago, can't afford to pay the insurance. So the problem is, I am not saying that people should have insurance because from my perspective, I have a member of my family who I consider a member of my family. If they didn't have insurance, they would die. The problem is it's affordable for all of us. That's what we should have had that discussion before.
I totally disagree with 20% coming out of anybody's salary or income. It's too high. It should be reduced to 10%. If you have to buy a car, the down payment is 10%. How many of us could pay 20%? When you retire, the retirees would receive maybe $700, $800, $900 a month, which is very small. So the amount of money you're taking out or deducting, they will have money to buy bread. And this is not joke, this is serious. This is serious business. I am not joking, I'm not making any games. You cannot leave people you don't love. If you love the people, you'll make life easy for them. All of us.
These things need to be more clear to us. And we don't even know, in effect, what the difference is between what we're going to get and what we were getting. We do not know that. These are things we need to know. Even if government is subsidizing the civil servants' policies, the whole country have a right to know because it's taxes, it's coming from our taxes and your taxes too. Don't think government is giving you everything. You have to, somewhere down the line you will be asked to pay higher taxes. And nobody was given an idea of what is happening, whether we prefer to stay with this plan, whether we need to, the plan we have, whether we need to negotiate with somebody else and accept a little bit less, or take this one that might not, that we may not be able to afford. Some pensioners simply cannot afford it.
One of the biggest concerns as well continued to be the procedure which government followed, as there were those who felt that they should have been a part of the decision-making process, and Tuesday's meeting should have been held before any decision was made.
I have reminded of a saying, God made sheep just for sharing. Okay? And this afternoon, I think that this is a disservice, not to you guys who made the presentation, but for those people who are supposed to be looking out for our interests. This meeting, what is the objective? Because some of us can't even hear what the presenters are saying and don't even understand what they're saying. A lot of this discussion should have been had almost 2 years ago. We have been with the insurance policy almost 18 months now.
It seems to me like this meeting we are asked to come to a meeting this afternoon, but actually there's nothing much to discuss. There's nothing much that we could ask. Because we were told nothing before, we had no information before, we didn't have a say, we're just given, well, retirees haven't been given anything yet. And we don't even know what we're going to get. And I thought if anybody is going to be taking money out of my pension or my salary, I have a right to agree before that is done. We had no discussions about this.
I too would like to echo some of the sentiments that have been said around in the arena, and to say I believe really to the dictatorship as an end, and I don't really think that this should have been done this way, but I respect what you ask, that this don't be addressed at this point, and we have another time to address it.
It is important that this campaign came to the people in January, not the end of March, to be in effect the 1st of April. That is not right. People need to be consulted. People need to have time to make up their mind. It's like calling a snap election. That is not right. The people are not prepared for this. You cannot throw something at me and they have to accept it. We have choices. We all have choices. We are not in a third world country. And we vote for people. And they are to make our life better, not bitter. To make people's life better, not bitter.
According to the Premier, Bupa Insurance is a little more expensive than the previous supplier, but the benefits are much better. But those feeling the pinch from the changes are still of the belief that it is just too much and they should have been given a choice. This is Walter Barrett, Beyond the Headlines.